Here's something else. So yesterday I briefly mentioned this. I have to watch out. Old Mr. Sensitive here gets his feels on whenever I mention the Brock Purdy contract. So there's a story he's going to get. Niners offered him $45 million. That's about what he's worth. I mean, it's amazing to me, though. I mean, like Sam Darnold has no market. Everybody's like 33 for Darnold, but give Jamar Chase $40 million. He's a receiver. What are we doing here? But Brock Purdy, yesterday I said, my problem paying a quarterback top of the market is you can't struggle against the good teams. And you can't have to have a completely full and healthy roster for you to win games. They won 6 games last year. What do you want me to say about Brock Purdy? They call those KPIs in business, and his KPIs aren't very good. The key indicators aren't very good. But just for a comp on this, because you could make the argument. Well, I mean, what quarterback's good against playoff teams? So Purdy, 1-6 last year against playoff teams. Okay. Lamar Jackson, the last 2 years, he gets nothing but hate against playoff teams. Dude has a 115 passer rating, 38 TDs, 8 picks, and for the record, the playoff teams, I would argue, the last 2 years in the AFC are much better than the playoff teams Brock Purdy faces in the NFC. So I'll pay Lamar Jackson whatever the market dictates, and Burrow, and Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy, it is circumstantial. His success has been circumstantial, situational, bad team, often at home, everybody's healthy, weather's ideal. If it gets overcast and drizzly, and I think about you'll be less of a quarterback, I said this about Tua. When Tua's playing, my question is, what month is it and what's the weather? I cannot pay a top of the market if I'm asking about weather. I'm not asking about weather with Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. So it's just, you know, next time you bang on Lamar Jackson, his record against playoff teams is better than 90% of the league's quarterbacks against non-playoff teams. Okay.
So what's the line about stats? Stats are like a bikini. They show you a lot, but they don't show you everything. Interesting that we see Brock Purdy stats from last season when, oh, by the way, everybody was hurt. Interesting that we don't have the stats from 2022 and 23 when Purdy led them deep into the playoffs. I would like to see those numbers against playoff teams. He was excellent. Yes, look at that. In his career as a starter, he's, look, up to 500 versus playoff teams in 3 years as a starter. First 3 years in the league. That's much better than the 1-5 crap. And 27 touchdowns, 12 picks. So maybe the defense is to blame. Colin, I know you don't love Purdy. I'm not saying you're a hater, but this idea that, like, they're going to be fine without him, Kyle Shanahan's one of the smartest offensive minds in the league. Would you agree? He will not let Brock Purdy go. That should tell you something. Kevin O'Connell's like, Sam Darnold, we lose him. We'd like to have him back. The Niners refuse to let go of Brock Purdy.
But let's again, George Kittle was the number 1 rated tight end. Jawan Jennings was a top 13 receiver. Trent Williams played for about 3/4 of the season. Let's not act like Debo was available. They had plenty of weapons. Christian McCaffrey obviously hurts. But this idea that he lost everybody. He lost Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey.
And Ayuk is number 1, according to you. They were down to like their 4th-string running back. Like, again, we've got multiple years of, look at that smirk on his face. We got multiple years of data on Purdy being great. We have 1 down season here. I think we need to pump the brake. Now you got me back on the Niners train. I was ready to call them old like an hour ago.
I think what the Niners have, which is really good, is that they've done a good job compensatory picks. They have 12 draft picks. Now, it's not a great...
12?
Yeah, so it's not a great draft, but they've got, like, I think, multiple 3s, multiple 4s. So San Francisco, if they hit on half of their draft picks, and the analytics tell you hit on about 51% of your draft picks. If they hit on 6 of their draft picks, they need a corner, they need a right tackle.
Can they get 4 new starters in the draft out of 12? That's 25%.
They can get 3 new starters, but they can also get about 4 guys that play significant roles.
33%.
Yeah, I mean, the rule's always been in the NFL. Can you get 3 starters? If you do, it's a good draft. If you can get 3 starters, it is a good. I mean, last year, Joe Alt for the Chargers, Ladd McConkey. But by the way, I think I could be wrong on this, but they got 2 corners in the 5th round for the Chargers. Both played. Like, that's a great draft. If you're getting guys in the 5th that are in the rotation and playing, and maybe a year away from being productive starters. That is an unbelievable draft.